So today I'm going to be talking about, I've been looking for a piece of cardio equipment that's really small for my gym that I have inside my house. So I've been looking around at different options, and I used to have like a little bike, and I think little bikes are probably the best bet for a small space. They're generally comfortable, but I recently had a knee injury, and so the specific movement on a bike was very difficult for me, and it was causing me pain, so I had to look for alternatives, and I'm still looking for alternatives. And one of the things that I see that's kind of popular on Amazon, or I've seen other people have, is these little kind of pedal machines, and this is a Stamina E1000 InMotion, and I think this is like maybe 5-6 years old, and it's somewhat heavy, and it's kind of robust. This one's kind of old, and it's still held up relatively well. It's been housed in the garage and used periodically, and it's still kind of squeaky, but you can maintain it pretty well. And it doesn't have a lot of features. It's got a knob for adjustment of the resistance, and it's got kind of tell you how many steps you're doing with this little thing here. And it doesn't take up a lot of space, as you can see. The only thing that's kind of awkward on it is, as opposed to a bike, if you want to do multiple things, it can be somewhat challenging pedaling, and you get used to it, but it's kind of a weird motion. So if you're playing like a video game, or you're watching TV, it can be a little distracting, depending on how you do it or whatnot. You can go faster, and you can increase or decrease the resistance. For my knee, the motion is a little difficult for me, but I am recovering from a knee injury. But I have read online that a lot of people say that these type of machines won't be able to give you a good enough workout. You won't be able to use it as a cardio equipment, but I disagree. I mean, you use this for 30 minutes depending on the resistance, and you'll definitely be feeling it. You'll be feeling it. The unique thing about these type of machines is you kind of feel it more in your core, because you have to stabilize yourself a little, as opposed to when you're just sitting on a bike, you just pedal, pedal, pedal. So I do like that. I do like that this machine, for how old it is, I mean, it's still in relatively good shape. It's not super cheap. Everything seems to be working okay. And the only thing is it is a little heavy. And as you can tell, this one hasn't been maintained probably at all, from what I can tell. And you can tell that just over time, you gotta kind of, there's some wear and tear and whatnot with this device if used regularly. And I think this one was actually used pretty regularly. I've also used this while I'm working on so I'd be on a desktop chair and be on a computer or a laptop. And I don't recommend it. I mean, I did use it for a while, but for me, as opposed to using a treadmill desk or doing some other type of cardio, it's not that great while you're working, because you're sitting and your chair is normally not set into the ground, so your chair is kind of moving a little. It also, as you can tell, this one makes noise, and even when you get it brand new, it's going to make noise. So if you're in a place where that can be distracting, especially in like an office environment or whatnot. But I will say the footprint of this is very small. Since I have a home gym set up with my power blocks and my stand and my bench, you can easily integrate something like this small, and there's different varieties or whatnot, but you don't want to get something that's too, there's a lot of, this one is in relatively holds up well compared to the other ones I've used, that they break relatively easily. I mean, this one has been kind of abused for 6 years, and it's still working just as intended, you know, aside from the wear and tear or whatnot. So I recommend picking up a model, something like this, and they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap either. But a lot of times you can find them on like used places. People tend to buy them and they get rid of them or whatnot. So I recommend it if you really have no space. I mean, if you want to get a treadmill, they're going to be relatively large amount of space commitment. If you even I had like a fit desk bike that I'm not a huge fan of, but I did love it when I originally got it, and that doesn't take up a lot of space. But this doesn't take a lot of space, and most importantly, it's small, so you can put it under something or tuck it in something. So if you're really cramped on space, I recommend maybe getting something like this. Or you know, if you want to forego it, you can just do cardio, you know, outside or whatnot, or go for a walk or whatnot. But it is convenient if you want to multitask, which is how I try to integrate fitness in my life. If I want to do some power blocks and watch TV, or I want to do some other type of activity, I can also do cardio and watch a television show, or I can play on that handheld device. It is a little bit difficult. I have a Switch. I don't have it right with me, but it is a little bit difficult getting used to the movement up and down while you're playing the Switch. It is a lot easier on a bike, such as like a fit desk or whatnot, where you can put your arms up or put it on a little stand and just press the thing. Or this is might be a little distracting while you're playing video games too, because you are kind of moving up and down, as opposed to when we're stationary with other devices like a treadmill or a bike or whatnot. So I would just say try it and see if you like it. This particular one, I had one many years ago, and I unfortunately didn't hold on to it. So this is one of my friends that I'm just kind of playing around, seeing if I wanted to buy it again or if I wanted to look for an alternative. So I'm still not sold. I'm still looking around, but I will say that this is a decent way to get in cardio, and I think for most people it will be acceptable for what they're trying to do, and it is super convenient. If you just want to hop on, you can hop on. I don't like even the new versions. They do make quite a bit of noise compared to like a bike or whatnot. A treadmill would be even more if you had a treadmill, and you know, take up a lot more space. So it just depends what you're looking for, whatnot, and I would say give this a shot. This is the Stamina InMotion E1000. I'm sure they have newer versions now, but you know, I have seen on Amazon, when you look for this type of equipment, it's been on the top 10 for a very long time. So I think this is one of the better ones. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.